Good.
Okay, super excited to be with you guys today, all the Functional Medicine Fast Track community. We have Mariana Lacombe with us, one of our Functional Medicine Fast Track coaches on the mindset and business side. And we're going to be discussing some limiting beliefs. So yeah, welcome Mariana.
Thank you, Garric. It's awesome to be here helping you guys.
Super cool. Yeah, we're going to be going through a discussion and just discussing some of the things that we're seeing in functional medicine fast track with the practitioners that we're working with and with those that we're having conversations with that may not have already started, and with graduates, across the board. And Mariana is just amazing, one of our amazing mindset coaches that has amazing insight into the mindsets of healthcare professionals. So, I mean, just off the bat, Mariana, what do you feel is a limiting belief? How would you define a limiting belief?
Love this question. So, I like to explain that first of all by explaining what a belief is. So a belief for me is a feeling of absolute certainty about something, right? So that's a belief. When you say you believe in something, that means you have a feeling of certainty about something. So a limiting belief is a feeling of certainty about something that doesn't support you, right? Something that takes your power away from you. So the opposite of limiting belief is an empowering belief. So we could also say that a limiting belief is a disempowering belief, or a disempowering feeling of certainty about something. Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I love that conversation because, so many of us have our licenses in one another scope of practice in the healthcare profession. And we've come to realize that our skill set that we've been taught is limited in a way in the conventional medicine model. And we need to explore, how do we get better patient outcomes? And that's where functional medicine comes in. So that in itself is a belief system. Is that right? Before moving into functional medicine, we believe that, okay, conventional medicine is not giving us the exact results we'd like for our patients.
Absolutely. So that's one of the things I hear from the practitioners that get started working with us. So one of the reasons why they decide to join, for example, the program, right, the fast track, is because they believe that traditional medicine is not really helping their patients, their clients, and therefore they're looking for a whole new system here that provides the answers that they're looking for. So you're absolutely right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as they start exploring functional medicine, that starts to stack on new beliefs. And that starts at, is there kind of a timeline of beliefs where beliefs start with, okay, this could be something that is going to work for me to overcome my belief in conventional medicine that needs to improve, and then get stronger? How does that belief system then mature?
Well, I think that every single person has a different experience somehow of how this belief system evolves or changes, or as you're uncovering different beliefs, right? Because some people, in order for them to build a new belief, they need evidence. So some people, they need to see results to confirm that that thought is true. Therefore, it is a belief that, stays. But at the same time, there are some people that, how can I say that they make this process so much faster and easier because they have the choice of first believing that functional medicine, for example, will provide the answers that they're looking for before they see the results. So based on the belief, they take actions, and then from the actions, they see the results in their patients, their clients, and that confirms the belief again, right? So most part of the mindset work is really to make sure that that people will actually first have the belief itself, right? So the belief comes first, and based on the belief, they take action, because it's so much easier for people in general to take action based on a belief. Imagine you're trying to take action, do something without believing in that, you know? So it requires more effort, you know? So it's not as easy. So having the belief first is easier. So they take action, and it's only possible for you to see results if there's action. So the process is so much faster and so much easier. So that's how I feel like people have some trouble sometimes taking actions, such as, for example, moving from traditional medicine to functional medicine, taking that step because the belief is not, or the result is not there necessarily. They might say, but I have never had a client only based on functional medicines. How will I know that this is going to work? But it works based on results from previous many people, right? But you gotta have the belief first.
Yeah.
So I think this is how it works, you know, Garric, in general. And as they go through this process, there are so many other beliefs that come up, right? A belief about, for example, their freedom to work with clients, patients, to solve a specific problem, or their belief about themselves as business owners, or, you know, the ones that really create the practice the way they want it to be. The belief about money as well, and experiencing financial freedom, you know, through that. And there are so many things that come up as well. So everybody has a different experience as we're working on their belief systems. I like to use the analogy of the iceberg. So the belief systems is an iceberg, right? So what people see is just the tipping point of the iceberg. So there's so much more to that. And that's the mindset work that we do.
Yeah, I love that. So, I mean, really what I'm hearing and what I've seen from the past is they understand functional medicine from what they've heard in webinars and seminars and other people works. But if you don't inherently have that belief system within yourself that I can do this is going to work for me, you need evidence. You need to find the evidence, and you've got to stack up that evidence to build your belief system up. And that's just the one aspect of moving into functional medicine. And sometimes that's the tricky part, is how do you start to stack that evidence if you don't quite believe in yourself getting those results? Not believing in functional medicine, but believing in yourself using functional medicine to get those results. Is that what you're seeing and hearing as well?
Yes, a lot. I hear that a lot. So it's interesting that, you know, when we somehow, or people somehow have a belief that they are not ready to be, for example, a functional medicine practitioner, then they can collect some of the evidence that this is the truth, because this is kind of what we do. You know, we kind of try to collect evidence that that belief is true, because it's a feeling of certainty. So it's like that's the filter that we have, right? So then I hear a lot about the fact that, you know, they might not know everything about a specific issue that they want to solve. Now the question is really, is it really possible for you to know everything about anything, even your specialty, right? It's not possible. We can't know everything about everything. So sometimes we might find reasons why the limiting belief is more true than empowering belief, let's say. But we gotta investigate, you know, Garric. So for example, my favorite question is it true? Is it really true? So when somebody says that they're not certain about themselves as, for example, a functional medicine practitioner, because they don't know everything about, I don't know, about, give me an example of something that's so normal for them to say. Hashimoto, for example. I don't know everything about Hashimoto, right? But who knows? Nobody knows. You know, you're always investigating and researching, and that is part of the identity as well, right? Like whenever you're confident that you're there really to support your patient, your client, and that is your role, and that's what you do, and that's the purpose, you're going to find a solution. So that is that is really important in the work as well, right? Where's the evidence coming from? The evidence can come from other people as well, right? About maybe the past, maybe your own experience. So many people choose a specific path in functional medicine and even in traditional medicine based on their personal experience or their personal pain, or like a pain from like members and loved ones or previous clients, right? So they have a lot of experience. Most of the times they've walked the path of their own clients too. So empowering beliefs are always available. They're always available, and evidence is always available as well to support the empowering beliefs. But you always have to be checking in to see where you're focusing on in order for you to have access to the evidence of that belief.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's amazing how there are solutions out there, and a lot of people don't know how to access them. And, you know, the one thing that we do hear so often is when they're moving from their traditional skill set into functional medicine, they feel like a fraud. They feel like, because it's a complete change in identity, really. Mm-hmm. You're taking on an additional skill set, which is actually in their scope of practice, but they're feeling that they're pushing boundaries and this identity is being changed and they're changing their business structure. And there's so many of these beliefs that tend to come up, like, can I charge that much for a program? How do I get onto Facebook and do a Facebook Live when I may not have got all the results that I think I should have got? And those kind of beliefs come up, but it's really the whole identity that's being changed as they're moving to this whole new practitioner that they like to call themselves functional medicine practitioner. You know, the irony is that anybody can call themselves a functional medicine practitioner without a certification, because it's not a board certified anything, or there's no legislation against it. And I think that is what challenges so many people, is they don't have this board certified functional medicine practitioner part of medicine for them to grow into that identity. They have to take that identity on themselves to say, I can really get better patient results because I now know functional medicine along with my traditional skill set. And that brings on this whole new person. So yeah, it's just what my question is, are all those beliefs part of the identity that needs to change to move forward? Is it the sum of multiple beliefs that is a new identity?
Absolutely. A belief that describes your identity is any belief that starts with I am, right? So everything that you say with I am is a belief about your identity. So whenever they can say with certainty that they are a functional medicine practitioner, they've embraced that identity, right? So it becomes who you are. And I've been working a lot with them, about that as well, adding more to that identity, being a functional medicine practitioner. What does that mean? So they say things like, I am competent, I am a servant leader, I am caring, I am loving, I am a helper, I am smart, I am resourceful, so I'm curious. So everything that you say after I am really describes your identity. And that is a critical component. You're absolutely right. Garric, building this new identity is one of the most important things for them to feel confident to take action, and then to see the results as well, and to do whatever it takes for them to build the practice that they are looking for. So and building identity is so fulfilling, ultimately, when you can embrace and say with pride and gratitude that you are a functional medicine practitioner. Then that means you became that one, you are that one, and you're doing things that will match with that identity. Tony Robbins says something that I really like. He says that we do everything it takes to match our identity, to protect our identity. So that's like, it goes back to that, the what we're talking a little bit earlier today. What comes first, the belief or the results or the evidence? So if you can believe that you are a functional medicine practitioner, you will do whatever it takes to be that identity, to protect that identity. So it's like, it's even more strength and inspiration to get the work done, to show up, to show up for new clients, to get new clients, to work with them, to see the results, to implement the program and everything that we teach. So that is the most important belief ever, is your identity. That's everything that comes after I am.
Love it. Love that. So it's all about these beliefs adding up to this new identity. They can see this is what they want. They're trying to move through to that. So it's really this old identity trying to transform and birth a new identity. So let's go a little bit deeper into this now. As they struggle, many healthcare professionals we see struggle to make this transition to success in functional medicine. How does this manifest in their lives as they struggle with their belief structure, with their identity change? How does it come up in their lives? What do you hear them saying? Are they self-sabotaging? Are they, just quitting? Are they, when it gets hard, what happens from a manifestation point of view when they start to buckle?
Yeah, so I think that the first thing you already said, they feel like a fraud, right? I think one of the first things that they really say, that they're feeling like a fraud. That means they believe somehow that whatever they're putting out there is not really the truth. It's not authentic. It doesn't come from integrity. And, inside they feel they are not enough, or they don't have whatever it takes, or that people will not like them. So feeling like a fraud is definitely one of the key things. But it's most of the times imposter syndrome, right? I mean, they have the knowledge, they have what it takes, they have the wisdom, they have the desire, they have the heart, they have all of it, and somehow they feel that they are not enough. So that affects everything, right? Imagine going to bed every day feeling like a fraud. How are you going to show up to your family feeling like a fraud? All of a sudden, it kind of creates a ripple effect in everything. They feel like they're not really a good father or mother, or not a good spouse, or not a good friend, or not a good daughter or son, right? So it kind of creates that ripple effect that ultimately affects their actions. So how would you take action feeling like a fraud? There's no reason why you would do anything, and without actions, there are no results. So it becomes like that self-fulfilling prophecy, like that crazy cycle of, feel like a fraud, no action, no results, or no results. There you go, I'm a fraud. And then you kind of keep going that way. So we got to stop the trigger. And like sometimes it can be the identity, or sometimes it's like, okay, so let's take action feeling like a fraud or without feeling like a fraud. So you see you take action so that you can see the results. But the impact is huge, right? So no actions, so no new clients, still working with something that they don't love. Ultimately, there's no inspiration. So then clients are not showing up. So there is like the confirmation that I don't have any clients, therefore I'm not an expert. So people just don't like me. So there are so many consequences of a disempowering identity. Let's put it this way, right? And yes, it's devastating. It's really devastating. And then ultimately, it's just if they don't change that, if they don't do something immediately to change that attitude and really get the help that they need and the mindset support that they need, they actually give up. So what is the point, right? It does, and then say, this just doesn't work for me, or it never worked for me. So it's just a set of beliefs that keep going over and over and over again that we got to stop.
Yeah, it's crazy how it can be a pattern of contraction or there can be a pattern of expansion. And
Right.
they're either setting that goal, making a decision, taking action, or they're not taking action and they're contracting and moving backwards. And that almost leads me into kind of the next part of what I want to ask you is, what are the consequences long term for those that just don't take action? They love functional medicine, they want to do it. And we see this time and time again with practitioners getting on the call with us and going, you know, I've been through certifications, I've listened to all the webinars, but really I haven't started with any patients. And I've been doing this for 10 years. What are the consequences long term if you're not actually moving towards your mission and your purpose and moving to a different identity long term?
It's complete devastation, right? It affects every single area of their lives. Now, it's not only about their careers, you know, it's not about their profession, what they do. It's about their health, their mental health as well, right? So, you know, people really get into a really bad place mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually as well, because they stop believing in the most important things in life. And, you know, it's completely devastating. Imagine 10 years, right, without really taking any action whatsoever, and working with something that you truly love and believe. So finances are also a huge problem, right? There's no freedom at all of money, because imagine relying on healthcare systems, right? And relying on insurance and relying on so many other things that are absolutely out of their control, and also like even working with clients or patients that are not exactly what they wanted to be doing, and so it's really devastating, and it's like giving up on everything that really matters to them. So 10 years, like looking forward 10 years in the future without taking any action and still committing to the same limiting beliefs, it's the ultimate pain. It's absolutely unbearable. um, so some it's interesting that some people, some clients, they say that it feels like, you know, somebody's draining the soul out of my body, it feels like dying inside. Well, because that is the truth. Whenever you're not doing something on purpose, or something that's not mission driven, or you know, purpose driven, is how is living exciting, right? So that's absolutely unbearable, and it's devastating to see. So we got to make sure that they do something before they get to that point, because it's a point where nobody want to be at.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think about my timeline of my career as I moved and transitioned into functional medicine. And the main motivating factor for me was never cash. It was always spirit. It was always mission and purpose. And how do I actually get better results for my patients? And that was a massive driver. And I would probably say that with all the healthcare practitioners we've spoken to and helped through functional medicine fast track program, that would probably be number one. Is it soul destroying enough to move forward, make a decision, change your identity, and fulfill your spirit of why you're on this earth, really? Because I think all the money in the world will never fulfill a spirit if you're not doing what you're meant to do. So, you know, the joy is, I think functional medicine can fulfill everything as far as your spirit, can have a great lifestyle, and you can have an income that doesn't have a ceiling on it. but those are just the cream on the top of having your mission and your purpose fulfilled, and the spirit that is just joyful. So I love that sum up that you brought to the party there, because I think that is just, it really just tells you exactly how healthcare practitioners are in the American system and many other health systems around the world.
Yeah.
It's pretty soul destroying, because they're controlled by third-party organizations, insurance companies, and ultimately at the detriment to their patients' wellness and their spirit. And
Yes.
that is what's so sad. So, the joy is we have Functional Medicine Fast Track to help them to grow into that identity, and wonderful coaches like yourself to help move them faster than they could if they were going to do it on their own. And I think that's the joy with having accountability, having the mindset coaches, the business coaches to say, this is the next step. What you experience is completely normal. This is how we solve it. And you guys are doing that so amazingly with the practitioners that are in the program at the moment. So any last words of wisdom from your side, Mariana, as we close off today's discussion? And
Yeah.
for those on the fence.
What's coming up for me right now is that it is possible to have everything. It is possible to build something, that provides everything that you need. And I'm sharing this because some people have a really hard time believing that, because of past experiences, because they were so beat down by a system that doesn't support them, or, a belief system that is so challenging and limiting, right? And I truly believe I've seen this happen over and over and over again, that yes, you can have a practice that provides everything that you need, where you can work with outstanding clients, patients, that will be so grateful to work with you, that will pay you accordingly, that will be absolutely grateful to pay you for your help, and where you can leave your mission. And because this is a mission driven profession, right? We are all here mission driven. I am mission driven, that's why I'm here. Garric as well, Garric, here also, we all have the same mission. I understand that completely. So it is possible to have the time freedom, the freedom of location as well, right? To be in different parts and helping people from so many different locations. Right, Garric? I mean, I'm Brazilian, and I'm here and I'm helping with so many people out there. We do have a way to build something that will meet every single one of your needs and be absolutely fulfilling to your spirit and to everything that matters. And that's what I really wanted to say, because that's a very strong belief and a very strong statement for myself. First of all, this is my belief, this is my life, this is what I've created, but also what I see happen over and over and over again with clients too. So that can be also real for every single one that is watching this, every single one of us. That's my final note here.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So if you're out there listening to us and you're on the fence and you've just got bigger dreams of abundance, of getting greater results for your patients, living an extraordinary lifestyle that is not geographically limited, and never having a ceiling on your income, because functional medicine is completely scalable, particularly with the model that we teach in Functional Medicine Fast Track. Well, what I suggest is the next step for you is to book a call with our coaches and have a clarity call so that they can just paint a clear picture on what are the best next steps for you. And the best way to do that is to book a call on our calendar by going to www.fm, functional medicine, fm-ftfasttrack.com/apply. and that'll take you to our calendar link. And then you can get on the call with one of our coaches, and they will help just bring more clarity than what we have brought in this discussion here. Alternatively, you can go to our website. If you haven't watched our webinar, go to functionalmedicinefasttrack.com and click the Learn How button. That'll take you to our webinar and give you more detail on exactly how we go through this process that Mariana and I have been speaking about. So great. So thank you to everybody for joining us, listening in. Mariana, thank you for joining me in this discussion. It's been an absolute pleasure, and just love every aspect of working with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Take care. See ya.